what planet did you think it was appropriate to give lingerie to your boss's wife?
I accidentally walked into her dressing room and she was in nothing but her underwear. Anyways, I was embarrassed for obvious reasons. But you know what apparently embarrassed her the most? The fact that her bra didn't match her panties. Yeah, like I even noticed.
And your point is?
My point is, on what planet is it okay for the boss's wife to make an issue of her mismatched underwear with the hired help? I mean, come on. If I'm out of line here, so's she, don't you think?
Peyton is very naive. You are not.
So behave myself or I'm out of here, is that it?
Pretty much.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having us.
This is, I'm going to volley between all sorts of questions because you guys have such both very diverse, varied histories and backgrounds. But the commonality here is Tainted Dreams, the digital soap opera that you directed. You co-created it too. You co-created the concept, right?
I created it.
Okay, yeah.
Story,
Take that.
basically.
Take that. So you created this concept.
Yeah.
And you are on it, as well as
All of me.
all of you. All of you.
More than we asked for.
I know. These guys are like, I'm always doing that too, as you remember. So I'll try not to flex so much this time.
You don't flex that much, I'll flex more.
Okay. All right. So first of all, the concept is a show called Tainted Dreams. So it's a show within a show. Tell us about the concept of the show.
It's basically, I call it the Grey's Anatomy that occurs in a soap studio instead of a hospital. So it's just the character's journey through what they happen to do for a living, which is working on a soap.
Right, and it's available on Amazon right now.
is.
You don't have
It
to
is.
have Prime to watch it too.
No,
just
no,
so
it's free for
just
everyone.
So you all know. And you are on the show, but you're doing a lot of things. So we're going to cover that too. I want to get to like how you both built your career. People first came to know you on a national scale on Big Brother.
Yep.
Woo. And then
Thank you. Mega hit show, it's on right now.
right. And
Pec-Tacular, boom, still got it. Go ahead, touch it. All right. Done.
right. Okay. I've never been able to spontaneously flex, so that's always kind of like, can you do the pec roll? That's not easy. Yeah, I can't do it. Apparently, it takes some sort of muscular development.
Still got muscles.
Yeah.
Still going.
Right. So then,
But yes, I played Dylan Buchwald on the show.
right. Did you get to pick your name, or did you pick the name? I love soap opera names, by the way.
I picked the name. It was very soapy.
Yeah.
But I created the character with him in mind. But I thought Dylan Buchwald just sounded very regal.
If you ever have a child, will you give it a soap opera name? Do you have a child now? I'm
I do
sorry.
not.
Okay.
I do
will you?
not.
Do you have like a pet? Do you have anything that you've given a soap opera name to?
I had my first pet was Diva, so that's kind of
Your first pet was Diva.
Diva. That's pretty
And that was when you were a
soapy.
kid or an adult?
I was an adult.
Okay,
I was
great.
working on all my children when that happened.
love
So
it.
yeah, I guess so.
Right. Okay. So you were on Big Brother. Then you became a pro wrestler.
Yep.
I think we have a picture of that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we have one of the pictures.
I bet
Can
it's
we
a good
pull up
one.
the picture of him as a
Somebody
wrestler?
knows.
Because I have a whole lot of questions. Okay.
Boom!
So first of all, like,
I am angry.
is there a store or an online marketplace where you're like, I'm in the market for a pair of, like,
These are custom, yeah.
yeah, they're
These are-
custom.
yep,
Do you
these are-
have to find? Is there someone
These are
who's
fit
like?
to size. This is a one of one.
I'm going to keep it PG rated. But anyway, so do you go to somebody and say, I'm looking for something? Is that their job? Is that their
Yes,
full-time-
we have seamstresses. Yes, this is
yeah.
definitely
but
my
these are
size.
like some, and Google, Mr. Pec-Tacular is your name on
Correct.
it. And you can see these are some serious boots too. Like,
Oh, yeah. Those are the real deal.
You know what I'm a little surprised at about? Like, first of all, you are much more smiley in real life than you are in all of your, like, you're so angry. I mean, I know, like, there's no, like, Mr. Nice Guy
It's like in
wrestler.
the video game, when you scroll through, you want to have the most intimidating guy, right?
Right.
When you're shooting through, you're like, whoa, this guy.
Yeah, this is
me.
the one who's gonna-
Regardless, Mr. Pec-Tacular,
Right.
I feel like, I mean,
But
if
to
you
me-
didn't know,
Yeah.
so, like,
Right.
everything's there. You know?
And I appreciate that minimal use of oil. You know, don't you find like wrestlers are often like oiled up within an inch of their lives? Do you have like a bin? Like, do you have a bottle of oil for photo shoots? Just that's my photo oil. Don't touch that.
Well,
no.
no, because like if you don't got it, it's already too late by the time the picture comes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, a lot of people, and plus you'll just flatten out. I used to be I'm actually still, so I competed through the WNBF, which is World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. So I already had a bodybuilding background, so this obviously caught that, but also the fact of like having that perfect sheen
Yeah,
to it.
sheen is important.
And the tan, you know, everywhere.
In bodybuilding, it's
Consistency.
especially tan and especially shiny. Like you have
Right,
to
but
like
you can
probably
overdo it and you
I
can
bet
look
people are
flat.
slipping on the floors of that place all the time, right?
Yes, true. But obviously, this guy's a professional. You know what I mean? So
It's great. Okay.
it's impressive, really. I mean, I'm impressed.
And
I'm
also
sitting
modesty is an important
All right,
feature of
but
it.
seriously, you know, this is
No, that
hard
is
work.
impressive. That is
This is my
hard.
profession here. I wear it on my shoulders, literally.
That's true. You do. You wear it on your everything. So, okay. So then you came to become an actor on Tainted Dreams. Was this your first acting gig?
Well,
I mean, I guess we're all acting day to day life, but
I think it was the most extensive. I don't want to speak for you, but I think it was the most,
Right.
the one that required the most commitment from him.
yeah,
Right.
'cause I worked with Sonia on Call to Arms, and then we did a workout DVD.
We did yeah.
Yep, but then this was the first one where definitely to this magnitude, obviously the caliber,
we're seeing
other
a
actors
lot
that are
of
in here.
people
I mean,
we've seen on
Grant's
some
in
of the
here.
most legendary, iconic soap operas,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
you've worked on all of the legendary,
Sadly, I'm
iconic.
old.
No, stop, no. But, okay, stop.
true.
But I will say, the people that are watching that say, okay, one, we have probably a bunch of people watching that want to know how you got where you are, and they also want to know how you got where you are. You started in television as an AP or a production assistant, right?
Actually, even beneath that, I answered the phones. I don't even know what we were given. Production assistant was a step above that. So
Right,
just
okay.
answering phones for like a year.
But then you worked your way up, like it happens in television, and you went to production assistant, associate producer, coordinating producer, producer, director, producer. So now you're directing this. You're creating concepts. How was it? A pretty easy journey for you, or was it hard? Like, how was that journey for you?
The thing with my journey is that if you worked hard, you did get rewarded. And that's not the case in general in our business or in anything you do. But we were lucky that if you really paid your dues, and if you were good at what you did, you would have to work at it for quite a long time, get good at it. So it definitely is something that I don't know if it can be replicated, because there isn't a medium out there that has that longevity.
Right. But now you're creating it in this
Yes.
genre.
Yes.
You're like moving the soap drama into the digital space. And so
we got nominated for 5 Emmys for.
hello, yeah, let's hear it for that. Right?
I'm just saying. Still got it. Never lost it.
Okay, so now let's go back to you for a second. You grew up in Iowa, did you
Grew
say?
up in Iowa, yep. Became the youngest natural professional bodybuilder in the country at the time. I'm like, oh, there's got to be more to life than in Iowa for me right now, because I was working on the railroad, coincidentally enough.
You were working on the railroad? All the live long day, or like part-time?
Yeah, pretty much. And like, the guys I'm working with, I'm like,
Right.
there's
Like, what were you doing on the railroad? Can we
I was
just
a
elaborate?
conductor. I was a conductor, yeah, believe it or not. So,
How old were you?
19 years old. So I was
So,
close
like,
to making
mass transit type of
$100,000 a
thing?
year at
What?
19. I was close to making $100,000 a year.
And you're like, no, to heck with this.
Well, just because, yeah, I mean, you just feel that as though you might have a calling in something else. Like, obviously, I started just worrying about going to the gym, and obviously had great success in that. Started doing a little bit of fitness modeling, and knew that I had to get outside of Iowa, whether it be in New York or LA. Teamed up with a friend where I went to a model search in Las Vegas. I ended up winning, and then I kind of teamed up with him. We both kind of moved we moved in together in like a 1-bedroom apartment, or like
Was this in
a
LA, or
house,
where was
into
this?
Culver City.
God.
Coincidentally enough, our roommate ended up on America's Most Wanted. Long story.
Your roommate
super
did?
Crazy.
Your roommate?
I don't even want to get
listen,
into it. Let's
People
keep
go to
moving
LA
about
to
me.
be on TV,
All
right?
So
You're
anyways,
like, I want to be on
everybody's-
TV.
Bad deal, but yeah. So I don't even talk to that guy anymore. I'm just saying, not him, but the guy.
Well,
who
he's
did
probably
it.
also, it's more of like letters now.
Right. Yeah. Like, I'm a great pen pal. No, but started doing my fitness modeling. Ended up going, like you said, to Big Brother. Parlayed that success and notoriety into wrestling, which was an amazing feat in and of itself, just due to the fact that the wrestling world is a very sacred community, a very sacred profession, and those guys are very well and tight knit, and they want it to stay that way. And everybody has passion and definitely cares about it, And those guys live, breathe, and die wrestling, and it's a great community to be inside, and it's an awesome, amazing profession. And I have the time of my life. It's surreal, like the euphoric, feeling that you get when you go out there and you can have everybody eating out of the palm of your hand just on one
They
subtle
get super
movement.
into it.
Oh, absolutely. Just like everything, like being inside. I mean, the fans for
Yeah, I was gonna say there are a lot of
soap world.
parallels between that
Absolutely.
and soaps.
But even the reality TV world, like
Yeah.
the fans that we have there, the fans that we have in the soap world, and then the professional wrestling as well. It's like being able to have like all those different communities and different professions to kind of go back to is great to be able to excel in that. And then obviously now with working with Jeff and teaming up with a great guy like him, I mean, this dude's phenomenal. Like he's become a great friend. And
So we're talking about Jeff Timmons.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a picture of you and Jeff in the video because you recorded a song together. Jeff we chatted with him last week, I think it was, actually, just a week ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And boom.
Look at how young this guy is. Just still.
I know, he's
so
like
youthful.
ageless.
No, seriously.
And you recorded a song called
The Girl Is With Me. So
And,
with me, not with Jeff.
Right, yeah, like it's kind of like it's like you're
Paint by
fighting over a
numbers, you
girl,
know? Yeah,
right?
just
And, and so I'd always like. First of all, I would hate to be in this picture because I would look like a toothpick in between you. But
absolutely.
but like you guys are two icons in your different genre coming together. Is it intimidating going into a recording studio with someone?
1,000%, absolutely. But because he's
He's
such
truly
a
the
big
nicest guy.
Seriously, he's an amazing person. I mean, he's got such a big heart and he's such a family man. He's so driven right now. He's just got such a new thirst for wanting to succeed, even more so than ever
and the
before,
immense
you know?
success he had from 98 Degrees, which he founded
yeah,
too.
but he's still doing stuff
truly,
with that. He has Men
yeah.
of the Strip
Men
out
of the
there
Strip
in Las
in
Vegas,
Vegas.
absolutely.
And sometimes you meet someone, you're like, is he really this nice? Like you're thinking in your head, and he really is that. He really is that
become
nice.
a great friend.
So that is going to be available very soon. You get. Is it available now?
No,
not yet.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. We're getting ready to.
You'll hear. So
yeah.
follow
Getting ready to kick it
Mr.
off.
Pec-Tacular
Yeah.
and Jeff Timmons
And Jeff
on
Timmons.
On Twitter to find out when it's coming out. And you're working on a music video for that.
That's the kicker.
That's the kicker.
That's going to be the vehicle.
And if you need somebody like I'm really good at, I feel like my debut as an actor would be great as like a corpse or something, like on a CSI type show. I can lay still really well. An agent once told me I'd make a great colder allergy sufferer. And I'm like, thanks. But then I got home and I looked in the mirror and I went, I'm like, oh, it checks out. Like I think I'd be pretty good.
Nailed it.
So if you need somebody for like a Formula 44D type ad, I'm your man. So let's go back to the soap. We were just talking about the obsessive fans of soap opera and soap drama. Tell me a little bit about that, because and how has that kind of helped you fuel you and chase your dreams at doing this? Has the response and the like huge fan following driven you in some ways?
It has, because there's a certain sense of loyalty that doesn't exist.
Right.
Because these characters are in your living room day in, day out for years.
Right.
So there's a sense of proprietorship. So when in its heyday, when a lot of people were watching the soaps when we went out, several actors, we were all, in our 20s, whatever, it would never be like, hi, Michael, hi, whomever. It would always be by their character name.
Oh, really?
Because they identified them.
You would
as
call them
someone-
by their character name?
No, fans.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No,
I got
like,
confused. But people get
yeah.
mad when they do stuff, and we're like, this is
I've
a
seen
show.
personal attacks, yeah,
This is
on
a
them,
show.
but
Like
they don't-
he didn't
they
really
don't get
murder
it.
his fill in the blank.
Yeah.
What's the most outlandish plot line? Outlandish.
Yeah.
What's the most outlandish plot line that you have done and that you've enjoyed? What's the one you enjoyed the most? That you were just like, oh, this is so good or so crazy that it's good?
Oh,
or
wow, that's such a good question. There's so many because we had so many dead siblings that didn't know existed and twins that take over lives, and those always fascinate me. I'm like, I think a husband would know that that's not the same one.
Right.
No.
I know. Yeah, that's true. Like they're like looks a little different.
No,
3 inches
no
taller.
one can look at twins. You can tell twins apart. You can definitely tell total strangers apart. So it's stuff like that.
You know what I used to love though, because I used to watch the soaps too, is when someone was filling it, because they're shooting them like every day,
yeah.
and someone used to fill in for somebody. So like, if you weren't here today, someone literally would like yell off set, "The role of Jessie's being played by Brian." Did you ever see this happen?
we
used to
stopped
really
doing that. That used to happen all the time. We stopped doing that.
Did you just not announce it at all?
No, we just don't do it. We pretty much are like, you don't show for work, you don't have a job.
Right. Listen, there can be an IV attached to you. Just show up. We need to and
Show
look
up.
upset.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll write it in. I made it today.
But
What are we doing?
Exactly.
There used to be a lot more outs allowed before. Like people would do movies, outside projects, and the times have been so restrictive that we don't allow those luxuries anymore, to say our truth. So this is your job, come and work.
Right. Well, and that
relatability
speaks to
in
how
this-
competitive this business is and
Yeah.
how much people want it.
Yeah.
That they're willing to come with like mono and stuff. You know what I mean?
We don't want them around, but they're willing to.
Exactly. So, okay, so you're singing, you're wrestling, you're acting. Is there any area that you still feel like you'd like to tap into?
I could paint your back porch, do your taxes, like,
Right.
personal training. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, like doing more projects with Sonia. She has a lot of things in the pipeline right now, and she's moving out to the West Coast, the best coast. No, I'm just kidding. I love New York.
Easy
But
now.
seriously,
Easy now.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, put up the picture. Let's go. Like back to back. No, I'm just kidding. But just continue doing that. She actually asked a phenomenal question last night and made me think about stuff. But I would definitely. There's a lot.
We get to know what that question is. Or
Well, there's a lot of guys
okay.
that can juggle a lot of things. Like there's a lot of successful people, and like you have to be multifaceted and talented in every different aspect. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to do, and make sure that I can capitalize and live life to the fullest that I'm actually capable of with meeting people such as Sonia, just because as soon as you find a good one, you got to keep them and be in their good graces. And we have such a great relationship. We met years ago. We continue talking about it. There's other people that I like to follow up with. But yeah, definitely want to just maximize the most of my time, and I don't want to say no to anything. Absolutely not. So I want to continue acting and professional wrestling.
Now, with directing, you are, and now actually, I'd love you to clarify this for the viewer too, because depending on what business you're in, if you're a director in scripted or unscripted, sometimes the role producer means something else. Tell the people when you're directing, you're in the booth, the control room, and you're telling them what shots to take when, how to position the camera. You're basically leading that room, correct?
That's exactly right. A director in daytime determines the shots, where people move, sit, anything, any stage direction, and then we need to make sure that the camera captures what we have on paper. And a producer oversees the overall look of everything. And if they don't like something, they totally have the right to tell me to change it, and I do.
Right.
Because that's me.
So we live in a selfie generation. People like to shoot their own content. I'm sure everyone would like to know like one good fight move. How do you pull off directing a slap or a strangulation? Like, is there one kind of thing that those of us today could go shoot on our own that's like...
Yeah.
Like
slaps are easy, and I'm lucky. I'm engaged to someone who has a lot of stunt because every time I get it, I'm like, I don't know how to do this. He goes, right, do this. So he helps me out. But the slaps are the easiest because all you have to do is look away. So you do that, and he looks away.
Right.
Shooting it on this side. That's very easy. You could do it.
What's a little
It's not how it works in my world. You take the punch.
Right.
That is true.
Don't miss.
Right. Now, is there anything else? What else is a tough a fight scene to shoot? What's harder?
I recently had something that hasn't aired yet because Days of Our Lives is 6 months ahead of air, but I had a lot of stunts, and I did a death by sword. That was a little...
So, like, when I was a kid, you'd always be like, when you were a kid, you'd always be like, oh! Like, is that how you did it in this one?
Pretty much.
Did you have a collapsible one?
No, it was a lot of cheating and then a lot of stop tapes because then you put the blood on because you have to believe that the sword actually punctured.
Right.
So it wasn't difficult, it was just tedious.
A sword, though. Not even like a nut.
That happens all the time.
Like who? Right. That's the fourth leading cause of death in
What'd
this
you
country.
say about my girlfriend? Sword.
Like a dramatic scene in a Renaissance fair. Like
It was something. I probably can't say much more, but it was something.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's
Definitely must
good.
see
I
TV.
love it. Now, could you show me like a wrestling move?
Absolutely.
Can.
My finisher.
Like yeah. Okay.
You know what it's called?
This is the moment. You're like, this is the moment it all went wrong.
He's like, yeah,
Like,
exactly. He's like, should I have asked this
if I could
question?
turn back
the fans
time,
are like, yes.
I would've
You know
stopped
when
it.
the fans are like sitting at home, they're like, yes. Like,
Yeah, because they're hating
should they,
me.
have a secret handshake, or should he put him in a wrestling move? Wrestling move.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, I've got the bod to take it. Right. I'm
Yes.
real buff.
Limber.
Yeah.
He's very limber.
I'm like
Does
the
yoga.
toothpick. I'm like, so what would I do?
Well, you'd be beaten up and
limp.
down in a heap.
Okay.
So,
All right.
you
I
wanna
like it.
assume the
Should I get it
position.
right?
Okay.
I'll get
Beat it. Am I
on
beat
your back.
back?
All right. So this is
I don't
called
know if the
Adonis
camera's.
grab.
Okay. I'm gonna
You
keep
gotta
the
get the
mic
full
here.
effect, though.
Okay. This is exactly. Oh, stop it! Really? The psychological damage. Okay. Wow. Oh my. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Am I supposed to? I'm fighting. Okay. Oh. Oh yeah. That hurts. Yeah. That's good. Right. Oh. Oh. Yes. Yes. Ah. Cancel my oh. Thank you. Cancel my chiropractor. That was great. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, man, very much. Okay. I feel like we have time for some questions.
Q&A's. Shirtless.
Yeah.
Gotta fit
Basically,
in that.
this is me in New York City on a summer day, by the way. You see the guy in a tank top, and I'm wearing a sweater. Like, this is, This is exactly. There's always that one guy that's like walking down the street, looks like that, and then there's
I hate
me.
that guy. I like the guys that are like just pressing the face against.
I know, it's
you
awesome. Okay, do we have some questions from the? Yeah, come on in.
Hey, thank you for being here. So, what special advice would you give to people that's trying to make TV shows like this?
That's trying to make what?
TV shows like this.
To create shows like this?
Yes.
Yeah, what advice would you give?
Yeah, the good news about today is there are so many things available. If you're able to self-produce, and it's easier said than done because there is an initial investment, financially speaking, of course, but you have the freedom to pretty much, there are outlets like Amazon, and that's one of the outlets that we took advantage of, but there are so many where you can put your content out there. So if you do have a little bit of money, and there's so many sites where you could raise money, as we all know, Kickstarters and things like that, and if you believe in something strong enough, you either do a proof of concept pilot to try to get something more, or if you have a whole series in your mind, then you can actually execute it, do that, and there is a platform for it.
She just delivered that entire answer without even breaking a smile because she's used to this.
I mean, well,
would say we're
because it's
out,
been the
but-
question I've been
And she has
asking
clothes
myself for
on.
15 years, so I understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the caption on like Getty Images, like an important panel discussion on television.
Still got it. Still got it.
Okay, so on that note though, when you now you built upon the experience that you had, which then gave you the leverage to create this show because people had seen all that you have done and are doing on successful shows. So then, did you have a paper concept for Tainted Dreams, or did you pitch it like verbally in the room?
Oh no, Tainted has been something in the works for the last 6 years.
So did you have it in your head and you
Had it
told
in my
somebody
head.
and then you developed it, or did you write
Yeah.
it down, or what did you do?
Had it in my head, wrote a first script with Michael Lowry, who plays Jordan. It was a different concept. Started circulating it. It got into certain hands, so like maybe this should be a series, maybe this should be a digital series. We revamped it a little bit later, and then it just snowballed, and there were so many stages throughout the whole process.
Amazing. And the beauty of it is, like, I think the underlying message for people that have this is that if you believe in it, you got
Don't give up. Yeah,
don't give up.
It's a lot of hard work. The best quote an actress said, like, they said, "How did I get here?" And she's like, "I just worked my ass off."
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. Everything is so difficult, but it's worth it in the end if you
Yeah.
really feel passionate about it.
Any other questions that we have? Hey.
Jessie, I enjoyed your tenure in TNA. I was just wondering, like, how has that, getting to work on that brand helped you, like, develop yourself as an actor? Because I know a lot of wrestlers nowadays are getting into the acting business and they're doing really well. So
That's a
just
great question. So the thing of it, it's live TV. It's live to tape. You got one chance to make this happen, especially inside the ring. If something goes wrong, you need to be such a professional that you're able to adapt if somebody like twists an ankle or gets knocked silly or something like that, because things actually happen. These are bodies going through, you're your own stunt person. Like, as things go, you know what it's like. This camera angle didn't work out. Like, we got to redo it, and you got to redo it, you got to redo it, yeah. You can't redo things. So just that one take, that one chance, and like having the professionalism to be able to knock it out in the first shot. And that was one thing that she can actually, I feel like you've complimented me on, in the sense of like just me being so prepared, like coming onto the project, The Tainted Dreams. Like, she was just like blown away by it, and that's why we were able to work together. And then everybody on here, like, these guys are just phenomenal actors and actresses, and like my professionalism, being prepared, and then coming to the table, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I trained for years before I got a chance to be a professional wrestler. It's not easy. It's not something you can just pick up, And again, they're going to try and push you away and make sure that this is something that you want to do, And then in the same aspect, or same respect, for something in, scripted series and shows and stuff like that. Because I also came from reality TV. You know what I mean? So coming from reality TV, it's like a double negative.
Right,
and
you
then
feel like you had two hurdles to
professional
jump.
Exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I'm really good at the high jump too. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna
And
have to
also,
jump.
too, as far as he's concerned, the soap actors are trained. It's one and done. You have one shot. I didn't know what to expect with Jessie, and I was prepared to be a little more patient and take time, and he didn't require it. He just was spot on.
That's amazing, the similarities. And he's still flexing.
He'll never stop. I don't think you know that.
That's why she doesn't even bat it.
No, I
I've been doing it with my butt cheeks the whole time. If you notice it, I'm like rolling.
She's like, oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I'm just flexing the butt cheeks. All right, we have time for one more. Oh, hey.
You guys are both so accomplished and like in your fields. I wanted to know what it was like working with each other in a different field.
That's
I mean, I love the opportunity because we've worked on a handful of other projects before this, and I got to kind of show my professionalism, like I just kind of alluded to, but in the sense of like working with her, like it's night and day working with everybody else. Like going from a reality TV world, that's just that reality TV, and everybody thinks like so highly of themselves when they come off because they have that little window of opportunity, you know, and that fizzles out. But then when it came to like professional wrestling, it's a completely different beast because that is a profession. But working with somebody like Sonia, it's night and day because these actors and actresses like are used to covering up. Like I had a scene inside a bed where like I wasn't really wearing too much, like maybe a pair of boxers and
That
stuff.
must have been so strange for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
Jesse,
saying, if
you
you
have
watch
to
the
put clothes
show,
on.
Don't you feel unusual in clothes? I feel like you're
I'm just
in
like,
underwear
the rest
most
of
of
this
the time.
interview without a shirt. I'm like, I'm fine. Everybody else is mildly uncomfortable. But no, when when I got to work with her, like just the professionalism in like the different scenes and stuff, like, it's night and day, you know. But being able to showcase me and again just
He brought a lot to the table because when I'm in director mode, I'm a very different person, and it's shorthand, and it has to be. And I felt like there was a lot of everybody understood what to do, so it was a wonderful experience. And because of that experience, I would work with him over and over and over. And that's our goal. To be honest, we have other projects, my fiance and I, that we created with him in mind as the lead. That's how passionate we feel about what he brings to the table outside of the obvious stuff.
I know. Okay, stop.
we got something here. It's working.
Okay, how we can find you on social? You're Mr. Well, spell it because it's like a.
It is difficult,
Mr.
but it's
Peck?
actually spectacular. Just take off the S. So,
Sorry.
Pec-Tacular.
Okay, got it.
So
yeah.
MRPEC and then _TACULAR, and that's on Twitter and on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I got a website.
Sonia Blangiardo, Twitter.
Common spelling. Sonia Blangiardo, Twitter.
Like,
Like, did you get that, everybody? Sonia
I
Blangiardo,
really
Twitter.
have it, social media. It's right there at Sonia Blangiardo.
Okay, yeah. It's going to be on the monitors, but thank you for that detailed explanation. Sonia Blangiardo, Twitter.
I'm terrible.
I want to thank you both so
you,
much.
Brian.
Tainted Dreams on Amazon right now. You don't need Prime to do it, and we are going to say there's going to be more. We just don't know when. It's already ready to go.
Yes, it is.
It's just not live yet, but you can watch all of season 1, and it's amazing. And you're both amazing people, and I enjoy you in it very much. So thank you both very much.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank
Let's hear it.
you.
Thank you.